Welcome to Tech Blueprint, a window that lets you know the latest technology news in the world. The market for extreme ultraviolet lithography, EUV, the core equipment for global chip manufacturing, has recently been in turmoil. ASML, a Dutch company, holds the golden rice bowl of the world's only EUV lithography machine, but recently encountered a public opposition from its major customer TSMC. This game around the sky-high lithography machine reflects the commercial dilemma of the most cutting-edge technology in the semiconductor industry. The story starts with the evolution of lithography machines. The current mainstream EUV lithography machine has a numerical aperture of 0.33, that is, Na equals 0.33, and each of this equipment costs up to $150 million. But ASML has long been laying out the next generation of technology, and the price of the high Na EUV lithography machine, with a numerical aperture of 0.55, has doubled to €350 million, about $400 million. This monster-level equipment, weighing 180 tons, requires 250 cargo boxes for transportation and 250 engineers for half a year to install. ASML originally planned to use this equipment to help customers impact advanced processes below 2 nanometers, such as TSMC's A16, 1.6 nanometers, and Samsung's 1.4 nanometers process. But reality gave ASML a blow. TSMC recently made it clear at a technical seminar that it would not use high Na equipment at the 1.6 nanometers, A16, and 1.4 nanometers, A14, nodes until at least 2026. What's even more embarrassing for ASML is that TSMC insists on using old equipment even for the 2 nanometers process that is about to be mass-produced. TSMC's Vice President of Research and Development, Zhong Xiaoqiang, did some calculations. The company currently has more than 100 0.33 Na devices. If all are upgraded, it will cost more than $40 billion, which is equivalent to spending the company's 2 years of net profit to replace the equipment. More importantly, through technical innovations such as multiple exposure, existing equipment can continue to squeeze out performance improvements. For example, the A14 process that is about to be mass-produced will increase performance by 15% while reducing power consumption by 25 to 30%. This kind of resistance has actually been evident in the industry for a long time. Although Intel took the lead in receiving the first high Na equipment at the end of last year, the actual mass production time was postponed from 2024 to 2025. Although Samsung received the equipment at the end of last year, it has not yet announced a specific mass production plan. ASML's financial report shows that as of May 2025, only 5 high Na devices have been delivered worldwide, including 2 from Intel, 1 from Samsung and 1 from TSMC. Semiconductor analyst Jeff Koh has calculated the economic accounts. Unless there is a large-scale replacement wave after 2030, the cost-effectiveness of high Na equipment is not as good as existing technology. ASML's dilemma is that it must maintain technological leadership while balancing customer tolerance. They originally planned to make high Na equipment commercially available on a large scale in 2026, but the attitude of customers made this goal precarious. TSMC's R&D director revealed that the 1.4 nanometers process they are developing can be fully realized with existing equipment, which makes ASML's upgrade plan embarrassing. What makes ASML even more anxious is that although its competitor Intel has purchased equipment, the actual mass production progress is also half a year slower than expected, exposing the complexity of introducing new technologies. Behind this game is the deep contradiction in the development of the semiconductor industry. The R&D cost of advanced processes has increased exponentially, but the growth of the chip market has slowed down. TSMC's Q1 2024 financial report shows that the revenue share of advanced processes below 7 nanometers fell below 60% for the first time, which directly affected the willingness to purchase equipment. ASML CEO Peter Wynn had to come out and say, customers now think high-NA is more cost-effective, but the market response was cold. More subtly, the United States continued to pressure ASML to restrict exports to China, causing its share in China, the world's largest semiconductor market, to continue to shrink, further exacerbating the imbalance between supply and demand. It is interesting to note that while TSMC publicly sang the opposite tune, Samsung was reported to be deploying high-NA equipment in the Huizhong Park and planned to build a 2nm process ecosystem. This disagreement exposes the strategic differences between manufacturers. Samsung bets on advanced processes to maintain market share, while TSMC chooses to extend the life cycle of equipment through process optimization. This strategic difference may reshape the global foundry landscape in the next few years. From the perspective of industry observers, this game is essentially the pain before Moore's law fails. As the physical limit approaches, the cost of technology upgrades is getting higher and higher, but the performance improvement is getting smaller and smaller. Although ASML's high-NA equipment can theoretically achieve 8nm line width, the actual mass production yield and equipment stability are unknown. Just as Intel found in the test, although the new equipment has improved efficiency, the initial failure rate is 3 times higher than that of the old equipment. This uncertainty makes customers dare not bet easily. However, from another perspective, ASML's predicament also forces technological innovation. The NXE 3800E equipment they are developing is trying to reduce costs by increasing throughput to 220 wafers per hour. At the same time, the new technology developed in cooperation with the IMEC laboratory is expected to reduce the number of lithography steps by 40%. Whether these efforts will work will determine the direction of the semiconductor industry in the next few years. If a cost breakthrough can be achieved before 2026, it may be able to reverse the wait-and-see attitude of customers. This game around the lithography machine will ultimately affect more than just ASML's financial report figures. It reflects the collective anxiety of the entire semiconductor industry before the technological turning point. When Moore's law gradually fails, should we continue to burn money to pursue the limit, or find a new direction in another way? TSMC's choice may represent a pragmatic attitude to extract the maximum value within the existing technology framework, rather than blindly pursuing new technologies. But whether this conservative strategy will make the industry lose its motivation for innovation remains an unresolved problem. For ordinary consumers, this invisible war is actually closely related to everyone. The stagnation of mobile phone chip performance, the slowdown of AI computing power improvement, and the delay of autonomous driving, all of these may become the price of technological stagnation. But from another perspective, the industry's caution may be a necessary process for the healthy development of technology. After all, when the cost of each wafer exceeds $15,000, any technological upgrade must withstand the most stringent economic test. The outcome of this game is still unclear, but it is certain that the competition in the semiconductor industry has long surpassed the technology itself and has evolved into a comprehensive contest of cost control, business strategy, and industrial ecology. While ASML engineers were still debugging the $400 million lithography behemoth, TSMC engineers were already exploring in the laboratory how to create new miracles with existing equipment. This collision between tradition and innovation may be the norm in the history of human technological development. The road to pursuing the limit is always full of rationality and madness.